Today, I believe Aamir had a very valid point. Today, we are seeing it after the fact because it worked. But I believe it was a very borderline which could have gone massively wrong. When a film like 1,000 times said, which nobody listens, fair enough, because people's job is not to listen. They will just make up their minds, Sure. I've not known of a single case where focus screening has helped. What makes you think I can do it right this time? Because when I couldn't do it that time. The very reason you're calling it a mistake is because you don't know. And if you're deliberately doing it, why would anybody deliberately do it? Definitely want to do a comedy someday. So let me see.
You've also said that in the interview that has come out today that if you would have listened to Aamir as far as suggestions in Rangila would have been a bigger hit. So what are the suggestions that Aamir had made at that point of time?
See, that's a little difficult for now to put across in place. See, Aamir basically, one thing he felt was that if in second reel already Urmila is, Munna is saying, I love, the audience know that he loves her. And without anything happening, towards the end when Urmila's in the climax, just before the climax, she says, I love. So Aamir felt the danger could be that you're just touching the film where Aamir is a nice guy, Urmila is a nice girl, Jack is also a nice guy. So there's no conflict anywhere. And he's an extroverted guy, he sells tickets in black, and there is no caste difference or religion. Both of them are good looking. So when there's no problem, just for the convenience of the screenplay, you are delaying that information of what Urmila is saying before the climax. See, today, because already people liked it, it became a super hit, it doesn't look like a problem. In fact, that looks like the main thing. But I'm saying it could have so easily gone wrong. Today we are seeing it after the fact because it worked. But I believe it was a very borderline which could have gone massively wrong if something else did not work. So, whether that is true or not, today I believe Aamir had a very valid point and I think I got away with it. And if I took Aamir's comments on that, maybe I would have done something else, and it is to cover that possible flaw, and maybe it would have been a bigger hit. Yeah, that is my feeling I'm talking about.
Great. Mr. Varma, there are many people out there who have really been following your work. When it comes to one of the finest filmmakers, your name is always mentioned in that. But people are concerned about the fact that Gopal Varma अपने अलावा किसी की सुनते नहीं है. That अगर film बनाना है, that he has certain set notions and he will not allow anyone else's point of view at all filter it into that. Is it a fair criticism?
I mean, I think I've been hearing this for too long a time, and people will eventually believe what they want to believe. Are you expecting me to answer that no, that's not true, and actually I listen, or I'm very open and this and that? If people don't want to believe, even if I say this is the truth, they won't. So I think these kind of questions are irrelevant because people have already made up their mind to believe what they think I am. So I think me answering is not going to make any difference. Like always maintain, irrespective of any film, I always do it with the same passion. I always have the same quotes. That is my personality. Whether it's a Satya or a Aag, or a Daud or a Jungle or any film, I put in the same work. If somebody asks me, why did you make this film so bad? The day I realize why I made other films so good, I can answer this question. Well, the film like 1,000 times said, which nobody listens, fair enough, because people's job is not to listen. They will just make up their minds, Sure. A film is made or a series of decisions taken over a long period of time, and each of these decisions when you are taking, they are governed by certain factors which are prevalent at that time, which might not be prevalent at another time.
Mr. Varma, are you open to focus screenings before the release of a film? Do you think that that's a valid thing to do? Do you do that for your movies?
Yes. Every film of mine, and focus screenings mean nothing at the end of the day, because no matter how many people you show, we had focus screenings for run also. You see, today film failing is on two counts. One is people not liking it, and one is people not being interested in seeing it, which is a function of a campaign. People wanting to see a film is a function of a campaign. People liking the film is a function of the film by itself. I've not known of a single case where a focus screening has helped.
You have several films in the pipeline, be it Booth 2 is there, you're working on 2611, and at the same time you're, I think, planning to make a film with Natalia and Rana Dugabati as well. There will be concerns about what Gopal Varma is doing, especially after the sort of flack that department has got. Will you be reworking on your films in any way whatsoever? Will you be doing something different?
This also, I think, answered quite a few times. This is not the first time it's being asked. Sure. This is being asked from 2000, I think. When I made a flop in 2000, I've been asked the same question. Will you be different? You can't be different because no film is unlike another film. You're making the film. If I'm spending 1.5 years of my life, my effort and my energy on a film, obviously I was thinking I was doing it right. And after that, if somebody doesn't like the film, and if I start the next film, what makes you think I can do it right this time? Because when I couldn't do it that time. Most of the time, the flack mostly on me comes much more than any other maker. That's because I make more number of films. I do only that. I only make films. Nothing else I do. So, in terms of coming back to the question, what would I do differently? Is obviously I would look at what the mistakes I made, probably in the screenplay, probably in taking a certain actor, probably succumbing to certain pressures for whatever various reasons, and I will consciously not want to do that. But I might make new mistakes, which I wouldn't know at this point of time. The very reason you're calling it a mistake is because you don't know. And if you're deliberately doing it, why would anybody deliberately do it?
Will you continue to just work with 5D cameras?
See, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because even the editing patterns have come in for criticism.
Editing pattern is different, rogue method is different, the cameras are different, the movements of the cameras are different. It is a collective collage of what some people felt a problem. Whether I work with this camera or the same rogue method in a certain, the screenplay was right, it might have worked perfectly. If the characters were realistic, it might have worked. How do I know now? So you can't isolate each of them and look at them specifically. They're coming in a collage, in a combination. They're coming along with each other. So you can't take one away. If rogue method, if employed in, let's say, something like a company with the realism of characters and with the realism of everything, it might have worked more. It might have worked less. I don't know. I can't say it for that. So you can't look at, like coming back to my answer, which film in the history of world cinema where the isolated technique and talked about it? That's only because I said this is rogue method, everybody started pouncing on it. If I didn't say that, they won't even have noticed, barring a few shots which were jerky in the film.
But Mr. Verma, a rogue methodology, whatever blogs that we did at Bollywood Hungama, you got a fabulous response for it. There were many people.
They are reacting to
and maybe if the content of the film would have been right.
That is exactly the point. You can't isolate it. They're just seeing, they didn't imagine the cameras can be used like that. That is a separate unit. But when they saw the film is a combination of the actor's performance, the script, the dialogue, and how the drama is progressing, and the various tools are only capturing it. There you're looking at it in a different perspective. Obviously, it's a different unit. They can't be looked at together.
After Aag had released, you had displayed, I think, a sense of humor. I think very few filmmakers actually have a sense of humor that you can make fun of your own film. And now Department has come about and you've written a note to the critics that I love you too. I think that seems like a bit of a sense of humor element from your side. Now, how are you coping with the entire thing that is the sort of onslaught is there? And do we see a fun film from RGV next? Aapne mast banayi hai, rangila aapne banayi hai. Because you know, there is a perception. I read a news report today that आजकल इस तरीके की फिल्में जो हैं वो पसंद नहीं की जाती हैं. लोगों को मज़ेदार फिल्में चाहिए, तड़कती भड़कती चाहिए. इश्क़-ज़ादे में भी बहुत वायलेंस थी अच्छी खासी, लेकिन that has worked. So I think those things happen when a film doesn't work. So people say all sorts of things. लेकिन कुछ एक उस तरीके का फिल्म हम देख सकते हैं आपसे?
Definitely want to do a comedy someday. I just have to get the right material which would excite me. So let me see.
And what is the shooting schedule now for your forthcoming films? Ab Tak Chappan, the response of the promo has been pretty good.
See, Ab Tak Chappan is almost on verge of completion. I need to take another maybe 15-20 days, not more than that.
मैं समाज के लिए मारूं या खुद के लिए, सिस्टम को क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
And I am on 2611, which I finished the first part of the film, which happened on the sea. So the CST station, Carnage at CST station is which I'm going to shoot from June first week onwards.
That was Gopal Varma talking about all the criticism that is coming his way of his latest film Department. He has also spoken about the kind of difficulties he faced during the shooting of the film, courtesy Sanjay Dutt and Dharam Oberoi. He has also taken all the criticism that has come in away quite sportingly. We've all asked him all the direct questions as we always do, and he sportingly always answers to that. And he has also spoken about the technology, how people should understand the difference between technology and the content, and how everything has to be segregated properly so to understand the actual context of what he was trying to say through his movie and his future plans as well. Thank you very much for being on Bollywood Hungama once again, sir. Lovely to have you, and looking forward to vintage Gopal Varma, the kind of Gopal Varma that all of us have had a lot of respect for and a lot of expectations from you in the future as well. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.